Pro bodybuilder Regan reveals full day of eating in prep for 2025 New York Pro. Regan has adopted a structured 7-meal regimen to help him prepare for the 2025 New York Pro. After sitting out last year's season, Regan is set to resume his bodybuilding career at the 2025 New York Pro on May 17. As part of his prep, he shared a YouTube video showcasing his full day of eating. Aiming to win the title and qualify for Mr. Olympia, Grimes is dialing in his diet and pushing his limits with intense training, highlighted by a recent collaboration with 212 Olympia champ Keone Pearson. Regan full day of eating in prep for New York Pro. Regan is making sure that his daily diet plan is very balanced, allowing him to improve his physique but also stay healthy. So, Regan tends to have a source of protein, carbs, and fats in the majority of his meals. Meal 1, Breakfast. Regan starts off his day with some meat and rice, thus fueling his body for the challenges that lie ahead. He did not specify which type of meat he consumes but did state that it is his main source of protein in the first meal. Moreover, he adds 3 packets of an artificial sweetener, which acts like a lower-calorie substitute for sugar. Protein, 160 grams of cooked meat, did not specify. Carbs, 125 grams of cream of rice. Fats, 10 grams of coconut oil. 3 small packets of Splenda, sweetener and sugar substitute. 100 grams of blueberries. After finishing up with breakfast, Regan reflected on his recent training session. He reveals that he tried out an electrical stimulation device and that his legs are still sore. I trained with Andy on the Newbie Fit, which is like that electrical stimulation stuff. One workout and I can already see the volume. They're obviously swollen. I'm going to be training legs with Andy every week leading into the show. Meal 2 Pre-workout. Regan took on his pre-workout meal next, making sure to stock up on carbs to get him energized and ready to train. His main source of carbs was jasmine rice, which he made to his liking. He also added a protein shake and a banana to fill up on the macronutrients. Carbs, 294 grams of jasmine rice. Protein, 50 grams of protein powder/shake. 120 grams of banana, for potassium and pump. Easy digesting, I'll have a flat stomach for my workout. Regan found himself back in the kitchen just 30 minutes after his post-workout meal. There he prepared all of his remaining meals for the day. So, his 4th meal consisted of some more rice, paired up with a portion of steak. Regan also added a vegetable mix to diversify the dish. Carbs, 300 grams of rice. Protein, 140 grams of steak. Veggies, 50 grams, mix of zucchini, broccoli, and a little routine included pullovers, single-arm high row, machine, T-bar row, low row movement, mid-row movement/single-arm seated row, cable high pull, back extensions. Meal 3 Post-workout. After finishing his training session, Regan showed off his unusual post-workout meal. Namely, he ate 140 grams of corn flakes and drank his protein shake. However, he poured a part of his shake over the corn flakes to make them a bit softer and easier to eat. Meal 5. The 5th meal was almost identical to the previous one, as Regan only substituted the steak for chicken. The portion size remained the same and was once again served alongside rice and vegetables. A bit of salt was added to both meals, but Regan did avoid adding any other oils or fats. Carbs, 300 grams of rice. Protein, 140 grams of chicken. Veggies, 50 grams, mix of zucchini, broccoli, and a little carrot. Meal 6. The second-to-last meal of the day was slightly different than the previous ones, as Regan made cream of rice instead of plain rice. He alternates between the two to change up the texture, making the entire experience more enjoyable. He once again added chicken as the main protein source. Carbs, 140 grams of corn flakes. Protein, 40 grams of protein powder/shake. Carbs, 125 grams of cream of rice. Protein, 140 grams chicken. Meal 7, final meal. Regan Grimes consumes his seventh and final meal late at night, making sure to fill up his reserves for a good night of sleep. Unlike all other meals, Regan picked sourdough bread as the main source of his carbs, while also spreading some coconut oil over it. Carbs, sourdough bread. Protein, 140 grams of steak. Fats, 10 grams of coconut oil, spread on toasted sourdough bread. Regan Grimes is poised for success at the 2025 New York Pro, with nearly 2 months to refine his physique. Committed to a rigorous diet and intensified training, he's gunning for the win to clinch a spot at the 2025 Mr. Olympia. Grimes has a solid history, notably taking the 2018 New York Pro title in Classic Physique. A Mr. Olympia veteran, he debuted in 2018, placing 8th in Classic Physique. Since switching to Men's Open, he finished 15th in 2021 and rose to 9th in 2023, signaling his upward trajectory.